As we build out our services, it's important that we understand kind of what's the value of that service continuing to run. Does it only make sense for it to run when there's actual work to do? Does it make sense for it to stop running when certain environmental conditions are met? Does it make sense for it to continue running for some period of time after the last bit of work? Right? You as a service implementer are the only one who really knows the best way to do that. So services give us the ability to actually control kind of the service lifetime itself. How is it managed? How is it stopped? Does it get automatically restarted? Those sort of things. And basically there are two mechanisms that the environment gives us for controlling our service's lifetime. One of which is that the service can actually make a request to have itself stopped. And basically can say just stop self at any point, to say stop running, I don't want to run anymore. And that might happen if you actually had a service that monitored some external factors, and as those factors were met, shut itself down. Or you can also do conditional stop requests, basically saying that I've worked on a task, and now that I've completed that task, as long as there are no further tasks for me to do, then go ahead and shut down. The other thing we have is that value we return from onStart command. That value we return from onStart command tells the operating system, if you were to shut this service down for resource reasons, here's what I want to have happen when resources again become available. So it can be to go ahead and restart the service. It can be to not start the service, just wait for a new request. It can be restart the service and send me the last thing I was working on. We can give the environment that kind of information so it knows how to interact with our service as well. So now the service stops self request. That's kind of one of the most direct ways we have for controlling our service's lifetime. Basically, again, the service can just say, hey, just stop. And when it says stop, the operating system will then call the onDestroy, and your service can go ahead and clean itself up. A much more common thing I see is the conditional stop self request. Basically, each time onStart command is called, the environment passes your onStart command handler an integer value. That is simply a request ID. And what you can do then is that you inside your service can say, I want to stop self, and pass that request ID. And what that says is that, well, if I haven't started working on anything else, or no other requests have come in since that request, then go ahead and shut me down. So it allows you to kind of say that, hey, you know what? If I'm done doing the work I have to do, go ahead and shut me down. But since the operating system has further information about the requests that are incoming to your service, you can say that, well, if you know I've got more to do, or you know you've given me more to do, don't stop me yet. And the nice thing about this is that you don't have to call that stop self as soon as you get done doing your work. You can do it based on a timer, right? So you can say that, well, I want to shut down, 5 minutes after the last thing I worked on. And it alleviates us from having to manage a lot of that timing ourselves.